Start it with
Okay,
whatever
here's
you
the
want.
thing that bothers me about the trailer for In the Heights, because we were just talking off mic about Lin-Manuel Miranda
Oh, I love that
and
trailer.
how, of course you do. God damn it, Joe. You're the
I
whitest woman I know.
Dude, In the Heights and Hamilton. Lin-Manuel Miranda's great. I'm saying it. He's
Okay.
fucking great.
And you know, he's a very talented guy. There's no denying that. My issue with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I think that I hope that some of our listeners will understand when I say this, is that he's the guy who, when he says thank you, what he really means is you're welcome. Like every interaction that you have with Lin-Manuel Miranda, where he is telling, you know, like you could pass him the salt, I feel like. And be like, here's the salt, and be like, oh, thank you so much for passing me the salt. And what he really means is, you're welcome for me allowing you to have this interaction with me. As far as his work goes, if you say, oh my gosh, Hamilton's so great, oh, thank you so much, what he really is saying is, you're welcome for putting out something that's so great. And isn't it so great? Isn't it so great? You're so welcome. Thank you for saying that. My problem with In the Heights, with that trailer, is that the fella, what's the main fella's name? He's got a cool name.
David Diggs.
His character's name.
Oh, I thought you meant the. Oh wait,
he's got a cool name.
Hold on, let me look it up. Oh wait, not David Diggs. I don't think that's him. David Diggs might be in it, but that's not though. It's the other guy. No,
because he was in Hamilton, right?
Yeah, and
that guy's cool. That guy's good.
This guy's the main guy in this was also in Hamilton though as well.
I didn't know that.
Anthony Ramos.
What's his character's name in the Heights?
Usnavi de la Vega.
Yeah. That's a great name. But so the trailer starts and he's like with all these kids. He's like, the streets were alive with music. No, they fucking weren't, dude.
Oh my God. It's a musical movie, Andrew.
And that is inherently dumb.
Dude, not true, because fucking La La Land killed it. I don't even want to hear it.
La La Land, you know what? I wish that we could do La La Land on the show one day, because I've got some points about that I kind of want to mention. That I think there are some things that I find very interesting about that movie. Oh man, I just love that movie so much. I feel like, I mean, I'd be down to do that movie anytime. Great movie. Yeah.
Anyhow, well, yeah, I guess, but I just want to say really quick.
Oh God, here we go.
I just find it so funny that you have this opinion on Lin-Manuel Miranda, but there is, and that it's great, but I just think it's funny because there is no possible way that and there's no possible way that I could know this, but there's also no possible way that you could know this about.
Yes, there is. There absolutely is. This is me. What I'm saying, I know because I've seen him on, he's been on every show in the world.
Okay.
And he's a talented guy. I mean, it looks like he is a super hard worker, but I think he also might be like a secret asshole. I mean, secret asshole. I think he might be like a secret asshole.
I got you. That's so funny. And what's even funnier is your example works perfectly with the fact that he wrote the song "You're Welcome" in Moana.
Wow, that's funny.
So that's more perfect.
Wow, that's like meta. He
wrote
kind of pisses me off.
He wrote all the music in that movie. So
the music in that movie is sick.
And he sang the one song that.
No.
Oh my God. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. We gotta switch. We gotta switch off opening the show more often. That's fucking awesome.
Just like I know that, Joe and all the other white girls are obsessed with all that's with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the guy is so good. There's no denying it. But he's also lying to you.
Wow. And also, I gotta say, I had no idea you had a grudge against musical movies.
I don't have a grudge against musical movies, but yeah, it's just In the Heights, I think. Although, I mean, yeah.
I got you.
But like the original West Side Story, that movie's awesome.
Oh, I love that movie.
I mean, you know, all the Disney movies are musicals. I got no problem with those.
We've talked about Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain, that's one of the greatest movies. That movie, unreal.
Yeah. I guess we never talked about La La Land, other than my opinion on it, because I've told you I've talked about it
For me, 10 out of 10.
It is a 10 out of 10. It still holds up. It's a 10 out of 10. That's why the only reason why I'm worried about doing that on the show is I feel like I'm not going to be able to like take my bias out of any criticisms. Yeah. And I'm just like
whatever. You don't need to. I don't think.
But anyhow, welcome to Film Juice.
I'm so excited to talk. We got some movie news. I'm so excited to talk about both of these movies.
Yeah. Oh, well, the movie news or the movies?
The movies.
Yeah. Dude. You know what? I actually am excited to talk about the first one because I feel like it's a way to let off steam, and that's great. So anyhow, let's get into movie news. We got some. We'll go by it. We'll just talk about it real quick. We got some movie trailers this week. I guess the first one we'll talk about is one that came out a few days ago. Well, it came out almost exactly when we recorded the last episode. But the Justice League Snyder Cut got like a new trailer. So this trailer, I don't know. I mean, honestly, like I feel like you're gonna know more about this, Andrew, than me. I haven't seen Justice League since we like literally reviewed it on Film Juice. I don't know if you've seen it since then either.
I saw it one other time.
I don't remember it very well at all. I really don't. I remember certain bits, but like I honestly cannot remember for the life of me what the main plot of the movie was. I really can't. I can't remember what the bad guy was.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah. Was it the guy? Now? Was it Darkseid?
No.
So that's okay.
No. So Steppenwolf, who was in Justice League, works for Darkseid.
Okay.
Oh, so Darkseid was never on screen. I mean, I guess he was the villain, but they never interacted with him.
Okay. So
the way that Apocalypse, which is the planet that Darkseid is from, they have these things called mother boxes, which allow you to do a whole bunch of stuff, include travel through, space and dimensions and such. And so in the movie Justice League, they say that, a long, long time ago, Darkseid tried to take over the Earth, and then the Amazons and the Green Lanterns stopped him. They just allude to the Green Lanterns, which that's a whole nother. That's one of the major issues with the whole DC universe. But anyway, so then Steppenwolf shows up and he's trying to find the mother boxes that were left behind, get them back, make some things happen, take over the Earth again. Yeah, and it's a very forgettable movie, to be perfectly honest.
Same with Batman versus Superman, honestly.
I guess so, to a lesser extent, I would say, in my opinion, but I can understand that.
Did you like Batman v Superman more or less than Justice League?
I liked it.
I think they're about the same for me, honestly.
I liked it a little more.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. The parts that make me mad, they're in Batman v Superman. are because like Justice League as a whole movie is just poorly done.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman has
good moments.
exactly, and it's got a couple really, really bad ones that bring it down a lot.
Yeah. That's true. I think that's true. Yeah, I'd say I'd agree with that. But so this new trailer came out, and I asked you to clarify that because in the trailer we see Darkseid, which we didn't see at all in the movie. At least I didn't remember if we saw him at all in the movie, but we didn't.
I think they show him from a distance in like the flashback narration thing or whatever.
So this made me wonder at first whether this means he's going to be like a main villain in the movie. But I don't this is the issue I have with it, is I don't know if that's possible unless they like film a bunch of shit, right?
Well,
like,
it seems like they shot a lot of stuff. Like they already have a lot of stuff shot that we didn't see. So I don't know if that much stuff is. Oh yeah, dude, everything that you saw in this trailer and everything you're going to see in the Snyder cut, that's stuff they've already filmed.
Yeah. I got that. I just don't understand like how they could have so much that isn't in the original cut, that like they have all this footage that isn't even in the original cut. I just don't understand how they could have all of that and make a completely different movie from that much. Like, I can't believe there's that much footage that they can make a completely different movie. And I understand even with editing in general, you can make a completely different movie with the same footage. I understand that. But, and so I'm not saying that it blows me away how much new footage they must have to make it different enough that the plot might even I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm contradicting myself. It's just crazy to me how much footage it seems there is.
Yeah, I don't know, but I honestly believe it because I think that, it seems that Zack Snyder had a particular vision for this movie and shot that, or at least, a lot of different parts that they changed and stuff.
Yeah. And that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I agree. Like there's definitely, it definitely could be a lot different, especially like since the whole thing happened where people first found out about the Snyder cut and people didn't even like believe it at first. So I have hopes. This trailer seemed cool. I liked it was all new footage, like you said, which I couldn't remember fully, but yeah, so it doesn't show much. It just shows Darkseid, which you've never seen, like the up close version of it. So that's cool. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens with it, honestly. I guess we'll see in another year, right? I think it's a year and then it comes out.
I think so, yeah.
I think it's summer of 2021 or something. So that'll be cool. So next up we have another trailer. We have this trailer called for this new movie with Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti. And they star in this new Hulu original movie called Palm Springs. And it looks like it's going to be a romantic comedy with the two of them. And it's kind of like basically a Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog's Day?
Groundhog's Day.
Oh, Groundhog Day. Once a year, all the children. You can only crawl for that day.
A Groundhog's Day. A Groundhog's Day spin to it. And I guess
It's
it was
gonna
at
be good though.
it looks good. I guess it was at Sundance.
Sundance. It's
Yeah.
got the record for most money purchased for by any movie at Sundance in
I did
history.
not know that.
Yep, by 69 cents.
Wow. Wow.
They were going
Crazy.
to whoever bought it offered them the equal amount to whatever other movie had the record before. And they're
Wow.
like, well, can we get $1 more? They were going to ask for $1 more. And then somebody was like, no, you got to ask for 69 cents more. And they're
That's
like, yeah, sure,
amazing.
whatever. So they did. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I think that this movie, I've been very excited about it for quite a while. I'm excited that they got a trailer out.
It looks
and
great.
I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be cool.
They're both great actors. They're both awesome. And it seems just like a new enough like take on
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, the whole
the spin
There's
on this
it.
movie.
I like it.
This is not PG, just so our listeners know. There's this movie that has a Groundhog's Day spin. What the hell is it called?
Not Happy Death Day.
No. This movie was not in theaters.
Oh.
It's a oh boy. Maybe I shouldn't have even brought it up. I don't know.
Porn movie?
No, it's not a porn movie.
Oh, the way you were hyping it up, maybe.
Well, there is a sexual part to it, element to it, because so the catalyst for the main character to like start the day over and over, over again or whatever, is he ejaculates. So every time that he
my God
ejaculates, the day starts over for him, and it's so bad. It's
Did you hear about this movie?
I don't know. I think it was on Netflix.
Wow.
It's called like Premature or something like that. I'm sure it's got some like name that's like a play on words about that or whatever. So Groundhog's Day, obviously, much like one of the movies we're going to be talking about, Die Hard, has been, revamped in different scenarios, I guess, a billion times. And I think that example really highlights that.
That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah. Find it. You can rent it at your local library.
Local Family Video. Oh my God. Well, Jesus Christ. That's awesome. But it looks good though. I really, from what it seems well done just from the trailer. So I'm excited for that.
Palm Springs.
Comes out. Yeah, that comes out soon.
I think it's going to be very funny too.
Yeah.
I don't think that they showed too much of the comedy in the trailer,
which I'm happy about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wonder, I don't know if you know this, did Andy Samberg did he write it or did he have any part in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was all the Lonely Island guys. This is a Lonely Island.
Oh, okay.
Movie.
Okay. I did not know that. Okay, great. That's awesome. Because I really love, almost anything written by Andy Samberg, I think is usually.
Oh, I guess it wasn't written by him.
No.
But I know, no. It was written by a fella named Andy Sierra.
Huh. So maybe it's not like
that guy. Well, I know that they are involved.
They produced, they definitely produced it. Wouldn't that'd be, but yeah, awesome. We got another trailer, for a movie that honestly I had no interest in until I saw this trailer. I'm not gonna lie, I did not give a shit about anything I saw before this trailer. It's for the Kingsman movie, the spinoff, The Kingsman.
The King's Man.
The King's Man, yes. Stars Ralph Fiennes, who always plays a bad guy, but it seems like he's not playing a bad guy in this movie. So I think that is cool. And he's a cool actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor, dude.
Yeah. You never seen in Bruges. That movie. I love that. I love him in that movie.
I'm gonna have to watch that then.
Dude, we gotta do that movie on Film Juice. I think you'd fucking it's a famous director did that movie, and then he did this. He's like famous for a bunch of movies. I literally should be able to think of his name right now, but I can't. But we should do a themed episode with him. Anyway, that's besides the point. Ralph Fiennes, main character of this movie. He is the King's Man, the one who starts it all. And I had no interest in this movie before this trailer. I swear I saw no reason with all the trailers before this one why this movie had to exist. It didn't seem very interesting to me. It didn't seem like it had any of the fun from the first Kingsman. Even the second one, like this, you can say what you want about the second one. I know the second one isn't as well received, and I know we reviewed it on the show.
We have so much. I like both those movies. Yeah, are great.
I like them. I definitely think the second one is not as good as the first one, but I still think the second one's good. I remember we enjoyed the second one though after we saw it. But
R.I.P. Merlin.
I know, dude. That scene is so good. But that's such a good fucking scene. But anyhow, the tone in the trailers before just made no sense to me. And I just really didn't see any reason. So anyhow, this trailer came out and it turned it from this World War I like war movie that it seemed like it was going to be from the first few trailers the first couple trailers that I saw, into, I guess a World War I espionage spy movie. And I didn't get, and people might be like, well, that's what it was all along. I did not get those vibes from the first two trailers. Not at all. I literally, it seemed like it was just going to be a war movie with maybe there's a spy part in it. But it just seemed mainly like a World War I war movie and that's it. But in this trailer, we finally got the style of the Kingsman that the Kingsman franchise is known for. And that's important. That is very important to have. You can't have a Kingsman movie without that style, I feel like. It just doesn't make sense to me. So we got the comedy in this trailer. We got how it was shot in this trailer. We got the more in-depth look at the characters, and they seem more not. They just seem more alive, I guess. You
just get such a more well-rounded idea of this movie with this new trailer.
Yes, and it definitely made me a lot more excited for it because the shit they showed in this trailer looks dope.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think I still am a little apprehensive about it just because I love the Kingsman movies so much, and Taron Egerton is such a big part of why I like them. Yeah, he's great. And I guess it's cool to see how but that's the thing. The organization was never the thing that drew me into those movies.
Yeah.
It was the characters, right?
Yes. Well, and that's interesting. I will say the characters were good in the Kingsman movie. Of course they were good in the Kingsman movies. But honestly, what always drew me into the Kingsman movies was more of the presentation and the premise. Just the idea that it's kind of like a meta spy movie that kind of pushes the envelope on how self-aware you can be without making it too ridiculous, right?
Sure.
I always and it has kick-ass action. I like the characters, don't get me wrong, but that's always what drew me in was the premise and the presentation of the action. And I just thought it was fucking awesome every time. And I will say, we'll have to see how these characters are, compared to Eggsy and Merlin, and there was the other guy with the eye patch.
Colin Firth's character.
Yes. And we'll have to see. But as premise goes and as action goes, this trailer did show me like enough of that to kind of get me interested.
Yeah, I think those elements will be good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it's enough to make up for the rest of the stuff. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
characters might be great. We know Ralph Fiennes is going to be awesome,
dude. Ralph Fiennes, for sure. Yeah, dude. He's like an older guy, and like he's fucking going off in this trailer, man. Like it's insane. Rasputin looks interesting. I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I like that. I kind of Rasputin, man. Dude's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
So it looks like this. It's an interesting take on that person, but one that I think is going to conflict really well with with our protagonists.
Yes, I agree. It looks cool.
And that actor, whoever he is, it looks like
he was in it.
He went all in. So
yeah. I will say what this movie can do that's cool is I think it has the opportunity to give a cool like history spin on the whole thing. Because I always like when fiction movies like this do this thing where
like historical fiction.
Yeah, where they kind of spit. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
That's one of the coolest genres.
So I think that's a new aspect to this film that could work. I mean, I would never I would never think of this premise for a Kingsman movie, but I mean, I see it now and I think it looks cool. And honestly, some of the best ideas are the ones that you never think of. So what? Is that a Joe Dorado quote right there?
I think it is.
That's on a shirt now too.
Some of the best ideas are the ones that you never think of.
It's true.
I'm sure that it is.
Oh my god. Put that on a fortune cookie.
Yeah, put that. Jeez.
So yeah, really quick before we move on though, from this trailer, the poster. You brought up a good point about this poster. I
know people have talked about it before, but seeing this is the first time that it really hit me because I guess I'm not sure why it was the first time that it really hit me. Just because the Kingsman movies felt to me so far from the massive. I mean, I guess now it is a big franchise, but the franchise, like your Star Wars and your Avengers franchises, where all the movie posters look exactly the same. And now the Kingsman, this new poster is has fallen victim to that as well. I guess it's just because Kingsman that's Fox, right?
I thought so.
Which is now Disney, of course.
Yeah, let me look in the 20th Century Studios.
Yep, there you go. So
yeah, it's it's crazy, dude. They own everything. Oh, jeez. But not only is the structure of this poster so similar to fucking everything, but the colors, every poster has to be blue and orange. It's insane how many of the new posters are blue and orange. They have this blue and orange color palette, and it's kind of nuts. That's just the scheme that I guess, I don't know. It's been that scheme for a long time now. I feel years. I feel that's been the color scheme, and they haven't really changed it up since. I I think they're like, it works, let's not try and fix it. But I don't know, man. It's getting pretty stale. It looks cool, but
yeah,
it's annoying that we're not. It just sucks. I feel like there's no variety in posters anymore. And you know what? I'm gonna my friend Jeff, who graduated as animation. He's an animation major. So he graduated recently too, and I was talking to him, and he brought this idea up a while ago that like the color palettes are like always like orange and blue now, like they're all the fucking same. And back then I was like, I didn't really realize this was like a year or two ago. And I remember he posted a bunch side by side. I was like, yeah, that's very true. And then he was like, I was like, well, like, what are your like ideas of like the good like movie posters? And then he showed like all these old like movie posters. And I'm like, yeah, you really can't beat like if they did more stuff like the old, like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood poster, like the old retro style, I think that would be really fucking sweet, man. Like I see what he's saying. He really likes the posters where you have this art, like it's just art. It's like a painting.
Yeah.
And I also think that is a really cool style, and I really like that.
There's a fella whose name unfortunately I can't remember, but he's an artist, and he did the posters for just about any movie that you can think of.
Lawrence of Arabia?
From the 80s.
Oh.
He did them.
Got you.
The ones that look good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's crazy that it's but I would love to see that style come back. Like, dude, every time we used to do the show, I would see the Lawrence of Arabia poster. It's one of the coolest posters like ever made.
Without a doubt. That's like, the first one that came to mind.
It's so fucking cool. Indiana Jones, another great one.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Shit's awesome. Anyhow, I know there's only so much you can say about it, but yeah, that's I think that's an interesting thing. But we got one more we have one more thing. And am I gonna remember it? Yes, Chicken Run. Chicken Run is getting this is really quick, but Chicken Run announced to get a sequel on Netflix. So I mean, it's gonna start production next year. It's not gonna come out for a while, but we'll see how that is. I don't know. That'll be interesting. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember Chicken Run well enough.
That's a good movie.
I know I have seen it, and I do remember liking it. I don't remember it well enough to be like super hyped. But
well, I'm not sure. Those the animation with the Wallace and Gromit. I mean, those guys are great. I think
they are great.
They did because they did that Shaun the Sheep movie that I didn't see. But that was supposed to be good. But the one was
the
Early Man. One? That one I wasn't that I didn't like that much.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It was one of their last releases, I think. But I don't know. Chicken Run. Some people like really, really like Chicken Run.
Oh yeah, I think it's a cult classic.
Well, I think that for some people that's one of their touchstone movies for their childhood. So I think that there is, from a very specific group, I think there's some real pressure to make this sequel right.
Yeah, that's very true.
We'll see what we get.
Dude, they killed it on the Wallace and Gromit movie.
Without a doubt.
The Were-Rabbit, I think it was.
Were-Rabbit.
That movie was God.
All that crazy. Wallace and Gromit stuff is great.
It's nuts, man. It really is.
There's a good documentary about that studio that I think take a look around for.
Yeah, I think I've seen stuff from that. But yeah, that's awesome. So I guess there's really, well, I do want to touch on this because I think this is a pretty big deal. But hold on, let me make sure. Yeah. So last week, Ian Holm passed away. So that's I don't know. I wanted to. He's like one of the fucking. He's a great actor. He's so good. And yeah, I just thought it'd be fitting to bring that up on the show and just he's fucking. He was a great actor, you know. So, but yeah, it's a bummer that it's sucks that he passed away. But yeah. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay.
I just didn't have anything to add.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you said something.
Yeah, he's a
obviously it's a shame.
Yeah. Just wanted to at least mention it because he
was 88. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of great work in that time. So
God, he's so good. Yes, agreed. And then I know Andrew doesn't want to talk about it, but Hamilton trailer came out. It was great.
I will talk about it. I don't even know if I watched it, actually. I saw that it got a release date, but I don't know if I watched the trailer.
Hamilton trailer came out. It was great. I've seen the show live. I fucking love it. And I'm so excited to see like the recording with the original cast. It looks like it was very well shot and very well edited. So I'm pumped. It's going to be on Disney Plus July 3rd. So that'll be sweet.
Soon.
Yeah, that'll be sweet. But cool. Yeah. And then so let's we had some movie news to talk about. Let's get right into these movies, man. We're excited to talk about them. We're really excited to talk about them. Oy vey. Well, we have Artemis Fowl.
We want to know everything about the man you work for. The man? Oh no. This isn't about the father. This is about the son, Artemis Fowl.
You've grown strong, son. And smarter than I ever imagined.
Then take me with you.
You're all I have now, Artie. There's just one very important thing I have to do.
We have Artemis Fowl as our first movie today. You want to introduce this one, Andrew?
I would be happy to, Joe.
Great.
Artemis Fowl is based on a series of children's books by Ian Colfer. Whatever.
No,
it's based on a guy named Colfer.
Cool.
And it's about a child criminal. He's a super genius. And he discovers that fairy tale creatures are real and they have a lot of very sophisticated technology. And he kind of butts heads with them a lot throughout the series. In this movie, Artemis's dad, Artemis Fowl Sr., goes missing. Turns out he's been kidnapped by one of these fairy tale creatures. And Artemis then discovers that all of these stories that his dad had been telling him about leprechauns and stuff like that are true. And so he has to then jump into that world to save his dad by finding this mystical weapon called the Aguilos, which is the ransom that whoever kidnapped his dad is demanding if Artemis ever wants to see his father again. So I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
Trying to get his dad back.
Honestly,
his dad's played by Colin Farrell.
Dude, yeah. The cast in this movie is honestly a little ridiculous. Colin Farrell,
Judi Dench.
Yep, and
Josh Gad.
I think that's honestly. I thought there might be one more name, but I think that's actually it.
Sure.
But Colin Farrell just surprised me, honestly. I I don't know where to start with this movie.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I will start with the beginning.
Which is the whole movie.
Yeah. Dude. That's a great way to put that.
Oh my god.
You know that this movie is going to be
Dog shit.
Yeah, you know it's going to be bad right from the get-go. The way that they start at the end, and then of course you have Josh Gad narrating throughout, which I think that this movie probably had a lot of writing issues.
Yep.
I think that the script was probably rewritten like a million times, probably even after everything was shot, during shooting. I can only imagine, because they used Josh Gad's character, who Josh Gad plays a giant dwarf named Mulch Diggums.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal name. And they use his character to, as a exposition tool a lot of the time. Oh gosh, I mean, if there's one thing that we've talked about so many times, is that movies, particularly fantasy movies,
Mm-hmm.
they use this voiceover to catch you up to speed on certain things, and it's terrible.
It's really bad.
That was something that every time it popped up really bothered me. And I mean, going on again about this idea that the script was rewritten so many times, there's a lot of ADR in this movie. And I will say, I don't think that it was done terribly, but the lines that they insert are awful, and they all have to do with exposition. And it's
bad.
It's bad. Yeah, it's tough to watch. And I remember, like, I don't know if I read all these books, but I certainly read most of them when I was a kid, and I don't remember very much about them, except that I really enjoyed them. And this movie, and again, I'm not sure because I'm not as familiar with the books anymore. It feels like they tried to cram a bunch of the books together, but if you look at the storyline, it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it really doesn't. I don't even know.
It's got that feeling of trying to squeeze so much information into, a movie, but nothing is really happening. So it's kind of an oxymoron in that way, a real shitty oxymoron.
Yep. Dude. Yeah. I completely agree. I guess, I can't even take this. I had a feeling I had a feeling going in, this movie was not going to be good. I mean, I think we both did, because we've heard all the stuff about it. You can't not hear about how this movie did really bad. It has 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. And
ouch.
Man, it wasn't good. This movie starts, and it never ends. It is an hour and a half long. Maybe like hour and 40. And
that's like an hour 30 minus credits.
Yeah. This movie felt like it was 3 hours long.
It's so nothing happens. Even what I would say is the one of the what could arguably considered the climax happens at this weird part in the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say what I'm referring to. I don't, I guess it's maybe a little bit of a spoiler, but it's
this movie.
But they fight this troll.
Yeah.
and it's terrible. For one,
CG is terrible.
The CG is bad, which is a real shame because especially right after this troll fight, where there's this temporal field. I don't know how else to describe it, that the leprechauns who are going against Artemis Fowl put up around his mansion while they're sort of, getting ready to take care of this business between them. And when that field starts to go haywire, they could have made that look so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not just that the CG is bad, but the production design of what that looks like when it's going haywire, and it's a missed opportunity for one thing, but it's also poorly done. Just doesn't look good.
It really is. God,
it's not captivating in the slightest.
Nothing in this movie has any momentum. Nothing in this movie is captivating in any way. Everything in this movie is just things that happen and you're watching them on the screen, and these things lead to another thing, but I feel like this whole
makes
movie
no sense because it feels like they're rushing through everything, and you would think that would mean they're trying to get to something, but
and then they're
not. Yeah.
I literally, this movie is all one act. This movie is all the first act. That is all this movie is. It's so strange.
That's such a great way to put that.
It is bizarre to me that this, and like, it doesn't, I've never experienced something where I've seen a movie and I'm waiting for the next act to come and it never does. It's just always the first act. It starts and ends in the first act. It's insane to me. Like, what the fuck? It's nuts. I mean, I guess people could say, I remember when The Hobbit came out, the first Hobbit movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people say the first Hobbit movie, like, nothing happens. It's very slow. At least that movie had structure. And you could say that the first Hobbit movie was all set up for the second movie. Fine. But
right. And because that first Hobbit movie, I mean, obviously we're familiar with the world because of Lord of the Rings, but
yes,
I feel like so much of that that movie does such a good job of bringing you into that fantasy world. And this movie,
so jarring.
To say that it does that poorly is almost wrong, because it basically doesn't do it at all.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And man, oh my God, this movie is so terribly shot. Holy shit. It is
that's rough.
Terribly shot. It's so terribly edited. There is, I can't, there's no redeeming quality for me with this movie. I tried so hard to find one positive in this movie, and I really couldn't, other than it was only an hour and a half. Like, holy shit. It just, oh man. Yeah. I mean, Colin Farrell was in it. That's about it. God.
First of all, what a terrible redeeming.
I know.
Factor.
I can't believe he wasn't. I can't believe they got him in this movie. Judi Dench, she's on a rough streak.
It's so easy to get actors, I think, to sign on to movies like this because of how successful Harry Potter and even like the Hunger Games and stuff were.
That's true. That's true.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Judi Dench, for example, probably signed on without even seeing a script.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I feel bad for Colin Farrell, and Josh Gad, because I feel like I feel bad especially for Josh Gad, because
his character was rough.
Used his character as such a crutch for this movie. Yep. And the things that they made these guys do, I mean, were so agonizingly bad.
Dude, it didn't. Josh Gad's character did barely fit in the entire movie. It just,
it didn't really have a place.
Nothing like mattered. It just, and
that's the thing. With that troll confrontation that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
there's no stakes.
No,
Not that you feel.
for no reason, Josh Gad all of a sudden is like friends with Artemis Fowl. Like, I don't.
Yeah, that's what really upset me. Like the way this movie ends. I was like, where did you guys build that relationship?
There was no relationship building. No, and not at all. And dude, I gotta say, I'm gonna spoil basically, I guess, the whole thing of the movie. I don't care. I'm spoiling it. It does. Okay. No, you're not gonna watch this movie. I don't care. I can't even take credit for this because I heard this in another, because after I watched the movie, I read and saw a few things just about it. And I saw this from another reviewer, and so I can't even take credit for this, but it's so true. The whole climax. So the whole thing of the movie is Artemis Fowl has to find this artifact, what it's called, the Acron, or the
Agulos.
The Aculos?
Agulos.
Okay. So they have to find they have to find the Agulos. So they have to find it. And you think they're going to go on this great grand adventure. He has 3 days to find this fucking thing. And what's the adventure? Nothing. They don't leave the house. It's in the fucking house. What the fuck? What is that?
That's so funny.
That is insane. That is fucking insanity. This whole thing takes place in one location and on a green screen. And it's oh wow. It is nuts. It is so bad. The villain in this movie is non-existent. Like, it doesn't even count. This whole movie just doesn't matter whatsoever. It's nothing matters in this movie, and there's no point to watch it. Like, I feel like watching this movie just gives your brain like filler. Like, it just gives your brain this fucking, I just feel like you lose more than you gain when watching this movie. I can think that's all. It just takes up brain capacity watching this movie. That's all I can say. Another thing I really want to say is that they always talk about how Artemis Fowl is so smart in this movie. He's so smart. He doesn't do anything. There's the only smart thing he does in this movie is he knows to put the glasses on when he talks to the fairies. That's it. That's the genius. That is the only thing. He didn't hack anything. He didn't do shit.
He didn't hack anything. Hack something. Come on.
Like he's renowned as a super genius, and he doesn't do anything in these movies. He doesn't do anything in this movie.
He knows that chair is a fake with the beginning. Oh, yeah. So he's a furniture genius.
Oh my god. And when Josh Gad is like, this kid, he's a genius. You met him for 2 seconds. What?
He didn't even say anything smart in front of you. No. Wow, this guy's got a lot of books. And all right, I'm in.
And how did Josh Gad know that he was at the school and he looked at the guy's chair and was like, that's not antique. Like,
he just knew.
Oh my god. Oh, and the line about Albert Einstein. Holy shit. Albert Einstein's my friend. Or I respect Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Like, he only got some things wrong. Get the fuck out of here. You know what? You know how you describe Lin-Manuel Miranda? That is the epitome of Artemis Fowl.
No, because I don't want to get into more Lin-Manuel stuff. But
okay.
Here's a difference. Artemis Fowl knows that he's an asshole.
Does he? I don't know if he does.
Yes, he does. He obviously does. And also the thing, because here's the thing about that scene. That's how we're first introduced to Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
And it doesn't endear him to us or
that's true.
Make us feel connected or able to relate to him in any sense. So
it's really bad.
You're down.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's just, oh my god. The music is awful. Just everything in this movie is awful. And you know what's funny? The Nutcracker bored me to death. and I'm gonna talk about the Nutcracker because that is up to this point the worst reviewed movie in Film Juice history.
Yeah.
And
do you remember what we rated the Nutcracker out of curiosity?
What we rated it? I think I gave it either a 2.5 or a 3.
Okay. I might have given it my rating exactly, but it was definitely in the 2s.
Yeah, I think mine was.
The thing about that movie, the redeeming quality for that movie was the costumes were great.
Yeah. Yep. And you know what? This is the thing. I fell asleep. I almost fell asleep during the Nutcracker, or I did fall asleep. I can't remember. One of those things happened. I was close to falling asleep, at least for the Nutcracker. This movie, I was not close to falling asleep, but I literally didn't need to pay attention to this movie. I did, but I didn't need to. There's just nothing going on. It was just, this is like, I was watching this movie. It felt like I was watching this movie and it felt like I was watching it in the background while doing something else. But I wasn't. I was just watching this movie. Like, this is going to be a fucking movie on TNT, and you're going to fucking be turning the channel and it's going to be on, and you're going to be like, yeah, just fucking, guess I'm just going to just let it play on in the background.
I don't even think it's going to be that.
No, it probably won't be, man. It probably won't be. This movie, I don't think is ever going to see the light of day again. I mean, so it's going to be on Disney Plus, and that's it. And this movie was trash. And I wish I could rag on it more. I don't know what else to say about it. It's so terrible. If we could do a thing where we like watched it and went beat by beat, that's the only way I could like
accurately articulate how,
yeah, that's the only other thing I can do. But it's awful, and it's honestly, it's not worth, I don't think it's worth our time anymore. I just don't.
No, I mean, let's rate this. I wouldn't mind rating it first if you don't mind, because I just want to say a thing.
You go for it.
Quick. Obviously, this movie is certainly comparable to the Nutcracker. I will say there are. Here's the difference for me. The big difference is that there honestly were a few moments in this movie where I laughed at how bad it was. So I got the tiniest bit of enjoyment in that sense.
I wish I got
where
that.
I did not get that from the Nutcracker at all. So
okay,
I'm gonna give. Oh man, now it's tough.
The way you said that makes me scared.
No, I mean, it's not. I don't want to.
Because at least the Nutcracker had production value.
That's true.
And structure.
I think I'm gonna give it the same score that I gave the Nutcracker for a different reason.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, I gave the Nutcracker 2.5 juice boxes, and that's what I'm gonna give Artemis Fowl.
Okay.
I can see someone giving it lower. I could see somebody maybe giving it a 3 if they laughed at it a lot.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason why I think it could get any higher than 2.5 juice boxes.
I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to give this movie the satisfaction of being as low of a score as you can get, because at the end of the day, this movie had stuff happen. I mean, it was somehow, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to give it the satisfaction of giving it the lowest possible score I could give it. So I'm not going to do that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I want to save that spot. I want to save that spot for something that deserves it more than this. Because I
got a movie for you that deserves it.
This is just nothing. And this is just trash.
God.
And I'm giving this movie 1 juice box out of 10.
Wow. That is crazy.
It doesn't get a 0.
Low.
It doesn't get a 0. It doesn't get a 0.5. It gets 1 juice box out of 10. That is, I think, in my mind, the perfect score that I can give it. It's just is. That's all I can say. Okay, yeah, let's move on to something better. Wow,
that's not hard, but this
no, it's not.
But this is much better.
This is so much better. A classic Christmas movie.
I forgot that's something I want to touch on. I want to do a PSA, but I'll wait until we intro the movie.
Okay. I think this is definitely well, the movie we're talking about is Die Hard.
Yep.
Mr. Mystery Guest. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Unless you want to open the front door for me.
No, I'm afraid not. But you have me at a loss. You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child. Another orphan of a bankrupt culture who thinks he's John Wayne, Rambo, Marshall Dillon.
I was always kind of partial to Roy Rogers, actually. I really like those sequin shirts.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bruce Willis, classic. Yep. I guess, I mean, we'll address that right away because it has nothing to do with like the movie other than it's like an argument thing. But no, I consider it a Christmas movie, man. Dude,
yes,
especially after watching it again. It is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now here's the thing. We all know that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. This is a PSA to everybody out there listening. Everybody that, you guys, everybody that's very into movies, this is what I have to tell you this from the bottom of my heart. And Joe, I hope this is not you, but if it is, this is not directed at you.
Okay.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. We all know that. So shut the fuck up about it. There's so many, we all know somebody who's like, oh, my favorite Christmas movie? Oh, it's Die Hard. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. You can't say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Shove it up your ass, you dumb motherfucker. Okay?
Oh my God.
I hate people like that. And this is why. Because I feel like they're like, oh, I think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Like they wear it like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, it's a fucking Christmas movie. Get over yourself. We all know that. Okay?
Not everyone knows it. I will say. It does not make you
special that you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Yeah, but God, so they're people that are like that are assholes, and you need to stop. That's my PSA.
Okay.
To you guys. Wow. It is a Christmas movie, that's for sure.
As someone who's defended it as a Christmas movie,
I don't know who says it's. I mean, that's different if you're like getting into an argument about somebody. I mean, the way you handle it, I guess, could be different. But I don't. But that's a different thing than just some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's nuts. Yeah, I agree with you though. I'd say I agree. I'm sorry to
come out hot right out of the gate.
No. I gotta. So, I guess I'll. We'll just get right into it. So, Die Hard. Sorry, Die Hard. It takes place in LA during Christmas. It is literally on Christmas Eve. And it stars Bruce Willis, who plays John McClane.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Hell yeah. John McClane. And he is a New York cop who is visiting his family who lives and specifically his wife, who they are estranged. They're technically not divorced yet, but they basically might as well be. And she changed her last name, which is a whole thing later on in the movie that actually becomes a huge thing. But before that, so anyway, he goes to this. He kind of accidentally gets invited to this Christmas party at the office, and at the office that his wife works at. So he goes and, you know, he's there. They're kind of just talking about, you know, they haven't seen each other in 6 months, so they're catching up, kind of argue about the last name situation and where they're at right now. And then a bunch of terrorists, this office is at this huge building, by the way, called Nakatomi Tower. It's this huge business in this movie. And anyhow, these terrorists come and basically take the whole building over and take everyone in the building, about like 30 people, as hostage. And John McClane is kind of separated from everyone, and he's like the only one who can honestly, from the inside, like kind of take them out one by one, while the police are trying to like help from the outside and sometimes not help from the outside. And yeah, it's yeah, I think that's a good synopsis.
Yeah.
So really quickly, I just want to say, I just, while we're on, I understand like the Christmas thing is beat to a pulp. I know, and I would hope to know everyone who likes this movie or watches this movie knows it's a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really explaining. I'm not trying to defend it. I want to explain.
No. I mean, yeah.
There are some really great things that this movie does, and it pertains to it being a Christmas movie. So I do want to just say it really quick before we move on to other stuff, since we were just talking about it. Mm-hmm. First off, the music in this movie. That is, I think, the biggest thing in this movie that is so well done that pertains to the Christmas aspect of it. So many of and I gotta say, I did not notice this. I gotta give credit to my girlfriend Emma for this. We when we watched this, I think it's safe to say this is her favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
So she's seen it a lot of times, and it was the first time we were watching it together, and she told me this, and I did not even realize it until she told me, and it blew my mind. A lot of the music in this movie are Christmas songs, but in the minor key. Mm-hmm. So you really don't. At least me, I never really noticed like a lot of there's a lot of big moments in this movie. For example, when the terrorist group walk in and they take these famous Christmas songs and they put them in a minor key, so they sound like off enough that you don't quite recognize it. And it's such a subtle thing, but I think it's awesome. I think it's such an awesome detail just to throw in the movie. And I just think it drives home, like, you know, just kind of the Christmas theme of this movie. I think it's a really awesome, a really awesome detail. It just, I think it adds a good amount. Like, it adds a good amount to the attention of detail in this movie. So yeah, I don't know. I just really wanted to talk about that. Like, I just think that's that definitely like adds to the tone of the movie and adds to many moments of the movie. Like, for sure. I think it's fucking awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of credit for some of those smaller moments, but not even just small moments, but a lot of credit for how well this movie works, I think ought to go to the director, John McTiernan. Mm-hmm. Because this, you know, I mean, this movie's production was far from perfect.
But
they were, you know, rewriting the script while shooting.
That's
all
crazy.
kinds of stuff was going on. And for the finished product to have come out so spectacularly, requires somebody at the head to hold it all together. And I think that he had a big role in that. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of people that add to it, but I think that he is a big part in what held the thing together.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy how well this movie turned out. It's also like, you know, this is a completely, well, I don't know if it's completely original because there's always usually a movie before like this that has a concept like this. But this is like, we said it. This is a classic.
Yeah.
This is.
It's tough to say. In this case, this might be the movie before.
Yeah, that's what
we were talking about. Groundhog's Day.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie that, to you know, an exponentially further extent, has been remade as different movies a million times.
Yes.
I know there's better examples, but the first one that comes to my mind is Pub Art Mall Cop.
Yep.
That's this movie for sure.
Yep. Or even, well, no, I can't say that. Aren't like isn't Die Hard, one of the other Die Hards, maybe it's Die Hard 2 or 3, is like basically like the same premise but like different.
I guess that's true. I think it might be Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Is it that one? It might be that one.
But I can't remember for sure.
But yeah, I can't remember either. But I know one of the movies is basically like a reskin. But yeah, I completely agree. It's insane. And you know, this movie has so many good moments, man. Holy shit. Like the production, I do want to say the production on this movie is, for how many issues they had, it's awesome. Like it is so well done. I think the sets are great.
Yeah.
I think
that they shot in a functioning office building that was owned by Fox, and it was parts of it were still under construction. And they were like, "Yeah, you can shoot in the parts where we're like."
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's so sick. And like the effects in this movie are so well. The practical effects in this movie are so well done. Like I forgot how gory this movie is, man. This movie has some fucking blood, man. Holy shit. I completely forgot like the part with and I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, we're going to spoil it, but the part with the glass, holy shit. I forgot about that. I forgot about
really?
that whole,
that part's crazy.
That part, I was like, ow. I was like,
yeah,
ow, that really hurts. Like that's bad. And yeah, man, shit's nuts. So that's great. I will say for when this movie came out, I think the special effects for the most part are really well done.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think obviously some things are not well done, but for the most part, this movie special effects wise is very well done. And yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. But there's so many iconic moments in this movie. The ho ho ho, it's not ho 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 motherfucker, is it? It's he writes I have a machine gun. Thanks for the machine gun. Ho ho ho. Shit's awesome. I guess before we'll talk about the acting in this movie is great.
Yeah. Crazy good.
Yeah, Bruce Willis is obviously fantastic. The villain is amazing. Hans Gruber is just great. So good. And there's this moment that I love where he gets caught he gets caught by John McClane and he acts like he's a hostage.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, when the first time that these two meet is awesome. Like that's such a great way for them to finally, come together.
Yes, and it's great. But I will say, and honestly, low key, it reminds me of a Departed. When they kind of gives me the Departed vibes there. But what I will say is his accent is so bad. It's so funny how
That's
bad
awesome.
his accent is. And I mean, even if whether it was intentional or not, like it doesn't matter because it works for the movie because he's not supposed to have like a great accent. But man, it is so fun. Just a oh God, oh please, oh no, God, please, you're one of them. Ah, it's so funny. I laugh out loud every time. It's so good. But he's great. You know who's great in this movie? The limo driver.
Yep.
Underrated
Argyle.
character.
Nah, dude, people know.
He's the hero.
People
he's the
who
hero.
know, people who know, they know.
He's the hero of the movie.
Like anybody who underestimates Argyle, they don't know.
Dude,
But people who know, they know.
He literally saves the day. Like, for some reason, this man stays all night. Like, at first, towards the end, he didn't have a choice because he was kind of trapped. But for most of the movie, he is free to leave, and he just stays the whole time. And it's just like, why does he have nothing better to do than just chill in this limo
It's his
and
job,
just like?
man.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I know it's his job, but I feel like he would have been allowed to leave after a certain. I don't know, but it was he killed it. The cop, I can't remember. He's a very famous actor. The
Reginald
one good
Bell
cop.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Sergeant Al Powell.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Yeah, he's spectacular. That's another great moment at the end is when he and Bruce Willis finally.
Oh, that is a
meet.
great moment.
It's phenomenal.
It's so good. And then, oh my God. And then when he shoots the gun, it's a little, the editing there's a little traumatic, but I understand. It's a big deal that he pulled out the gun. Some of the shots in that part, I was like, oh God, like they're really hammering this home. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been talking a lot about it. I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Basically all the same stuff. There's only so much you can say about how exceptional this movie was. I think that, look, obviously it's been emanated so many times. I think I said that right. But this movie really changed action movies, I think. I think that after this movie, people expected a lot more from action movies than just action. Look at some of the other action movies, great action movies from the 80s. I look at or action stars like Schwarzenegger, right? Yeah. There's a huge difference between Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I know Bruce Willis has been in the Expendable movies and stuff now. Yeah. He's done a lot of action movies, but he hadn't done anything like this before Die Hard.
Yeah, he killed it.
I know, but no actor like him had done a movie like Die Hard before, and that's what makes this movie such a classic, is because of how dynamic it is. And if you took someone like maybe not Schwarzenegger per se, but someone Schwarzenegger-esque in this role, it would have been a completely different movie. And I'm sure it would have been very entertaining, but it wouldn't have been what this movie is now.
No, not at all. It's insane. I could have seen Arnold in this movie. He could have been the guy who fucking never dies in this movie.
Yeah, I think I do.
I'm
think
not
that,
saying he can't be.
I honestly don't think it would have been as good because
really
oh no, dude, because some of the character traits that McClane features, especially because he's alone, we're watching him by himself for a big chunk of this movie. Yeah, Schwarzenegger couldn't have pulled off, or they would have had to completely change the character.
No. I'm not saying Arnold Schwarzenegger could be McClane. I'm saying I think he could have been casted as the guy that basically the McClane's arch nemesis. In this.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, because that guy just never he was a Terminator he was the Terminator in this movie. What the fuck? There is no way that man. I still, obviously it's an action movie and there's a lot of absurd shit that happens in this movie, but him like not dying after the big giant fight scene that him and McClane have is fucking so ridiculous, and it's still hard for me to like be like, it's still like, it's hard for me to suspend my disbelief sometimes that much. Like it's insane that guy somehow survived that. I don't know, man. I don't see how he could have done it. I just don't. So I'm always like trying, whenever that part happens, I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, you might disagree with me with this. Part of me feels like they didn't need him to come back and they didn't need the cop to shoot the gun. Like, I'm glad, like, it's fine and it's good that it's in it. Like, I get the point why it's in it. Like, obviously, like, it's, you know, character growth for the desk cop, but for Al. But the thing is, I think the more I think about it, the more I feel like it didn't need to be there. Like it's fine that it's there, but it also could have easily not have been there and it would have been fine. In my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. But I do think that it's, I think it adds a little something, and I like that. I like that it's included.
Yeah, it does come out of nowhere, which is cool. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm trying. I don't want to like. We definitely, obviously, like, we can't talk about every single moment that's amazing in this movie. Yeah. I do want to say. I want to say one. I don't even know if I can say a gripe. It's just something that, like, I never noticed until I watched it yesterday. And I don't know why it's in it. There's just a lot of random nudity in the movie.
It was the 80s, man.
I understand, I understand, like, for the time. Yeah. But, like, there's just some parts where I'm like, there was just a lot. That's all. It was just a lot. And I understand it's the 80s, but it just was not necessary at all. And it was like, I just was like,
put some hair on your chest, Joe.
I was just like, why is this in the movie? Like, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just dumb to me.
That's a great question. I have no idea. It's just
dumb to me.
I agree.
Especially, I will say, there's this part. I won't even say, not even just the photo parts, like where there's just random photos, like, fine. But the one part that really, like, stood out to me, and I'm like, there literally is no reason. Like, this is even, like, worse than just, like, the random photos in the background. There's this part where John McClane is literally just looking out of the building window, and he literally just sees a girl across in the other building, and she's naked. And that's it. And he just looks at her for a second. And I thought, I remember I was like, oh, maybe, like, you know, there's a reason, like, he's gonna try and get her attention or something. But no, it's just there. He just, like, looks at a naked girl for 2 seconds, and then that's it.
Yeah. Well,
it's just, I just think it's kind of stands out. I just think I know I can't change the movie. I think it kind of stands out, and, like, that part, like, is just a little weird. But I understand it's the 80s. But yeah, so that part is a little, you know, little weird. But honestly, other than that, and other than, I don't really feel like the one guy had to come back, and, like, that's, like, you know, that's just a personal thing. I will say I don't really think I have any gripes with this movie, or any, like, those are my only criticisms. Like, I struggle to find more with it. Like, dude, like, the action is so well shot in this movie. The choreography is great. It feels very real, and that's why I think it's great. I think the villain is very well done. He is very, very what's the word? Imposing.
Yeah.
he is a very good villain, and he just does such a good job during the movie. I love the structure of this movie and how they reveal his plan like throughout, you know?
Mhm.
Like you kind of know like that they're there to steal money, but you don't like know exactly, because he's so calm, cool, collected the whole time. The only wrench in his plan is John McClane. Everything else he's planned for. So it's crazy, like how it's just crazy how much he like planned ahead, and it's really well done, and it's very satisfying, honestly. Like the twists and turns this movie takes.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
It's awesome.
Yep,
it's just fucking awesome.
it's kind of the perfect storm. I mean, the whole plot of the movie is excellent. That sets it apart, and I think the characters also are a big driving force and set it apart from other action movies at the time, and even today makes it a classic.
Also, the tone. I think the tone is very hard to replicate with it. This movie balances action and seriousness with comedy very well. The comedy of this movie is fantastic, I think. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of good fucking moments. Like, it just handles everything so well. And there are some such tense moments in this movie. Like, I forgot about the two scenes that gave me a lot of I was on the edge of my seat, and I know how the movie goes. And I was still on the edge of my seat for two of these scenes. The one scene being when he has the MP5, and he's literally climbing down the chute with the MP5, like barely, kind of holding him, and the string just starts to fucking unravel. Do you know what part I'm talking about? The strap.
Yes.
And he like just barely makes it to the vent. And it's just, oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
That part, like fucking, it still gets my heart pounding. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, it's just so well shot. I don't know. And it's acted so well too. Like, there's not, the real sense of danger in this movie is very much there. Mm-hmm. And it's great. And it's still there after rewatch. Like, it really is.
That's the thing. This movie has such a high level of rewatchability.
It really does. The other part that gives me a lot of tension is, or makes me tense, is the fire hose. The fire hose scene, but not even when he's climbing down the building. It's more of when the fire hose falls off the building, and then he's like getting dragged down. That part is like, I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I actually forgot that happened on my rewatch. So I was like, oh shit. I was like, fuck. He has to fucking get that shit off of him.
Yeah. How's he gonna get out of this one?
It's just, it's nuts, man. It's crazy. It's so well done though. And it's a very smart action movie. And I think that's what's so great about it. And it's just fucking awesome. It's a classic and it's great. There is one more thing I wanted to say before we can get to ratings. I do want to say I do remember one. I don't know if I would say it's a gripe, but one thing that does kind of like, I don't know. I'm fine with how it is. I think it could be like a little. I think I could ask for a little bit more. So there's the whole angle with there's the whole angle that this movie takes with the media.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously like I think it's a very like good thing to have in the movie. Some parts it felt a little out of place, and I understand like it comes in at the end with the payoff of like, you know, the scumbag gets punched in the face, but some parts it just like the way it was inserted in certain parts of the movie, it kind of just felt out of place for me.
Oh, okay.
And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I understand why it's there. Maybe it was an editing thing. I understand why it's there in the story. It's a very small, minor thing in the story, and it definitely doesn't need to be in there. But I like that it's in there because I think it says a message that it's one of the many messages in the film, and I think that's actually a pretty good one, like with how the media like handles sensitive topics. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of how that was edited in. It just stuck out to me sometimes. And then I guess lastly, the ending of this movie. I love how this movie starts. This movie starts and it gets you right into it, and I love that. I love that a lot. And this is a perfect movie of showing and not telling, like for fucking sure. It's amazing. Visual storytelling is so good in this movie, and I think that's one of the best parts of the movie. With how it's shot and everything. But I will say, I think it ends a little bit abruptly. I understand it, and it's completely fine that it did end where it ended. I think it ended a little bit abruptly. It is an older movie, so it's a little cheesy, and that's fine. And I'm completely fine with the end. I think it could have ended a little later. I think they could have just had either like a flash forward or
right. You want some sort of wrap up
just with the kids or with some of the characters. It just felt a little abrupt, and I understand. Like,
yeah, I get that. I don't know. I like where it ended. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I understand it didn't need to. Just I personally think it could have benefited from a little bit more, and that's just me personally. But I think that. But you know, I think it just wraps up a little too nicely with a bow.
I hear you.
Yeah. Like, it's just
disagree. I get it.
Yeah. But I got you. Yeah. So I mean, that's really it for what I got to say. Is there anything else you want to touch on with this?
Oh, let's rate this sucker.
Okay, let's do it. Oh man. I don't know what, I'm gonna, it's hard, man. It's hard. I think, you know, it's not that hard, actually. I'm going to give this movie 9 juice boxes out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think I can't give it a 10. But
okay.
I have so few gripes with it. And the gripes I do have with it aren't even like, I don't know, like they're not even like, I don't know. This movie's almost perfect. So I gotta give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
I do want to give it 10 out of 10 juice boxes.
I do too. It's a classic.
It is an absolute classic. It's certainly one of the best action movies ever made.
Yeah,
I think that you could certainly argue that it is the best. I think the reason for that is because it's dynamic.
Yeah,
and the way that it handles itself, and a lot of elements in the
perfect storm, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. It really is. Damn. Well, that does it for Film Juice this week. What a great fucking, great episode either way. Got great discussion out of the movies. So you can follow us on Instagram at film_juice. You can also follow us on Twitter at filmjuicepod for, any updates with the show, updates with movie news, because we do post and repost stuff like that all the time. And there is, I said this last week, there is stuff happening. So please follow us on there and stay tuned. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Well, you're listening to it right now, so you know whatever you're listening to it on. But I know we just got added to Apple Podcasts, so just gonna plug that a few more times. But same time, same place next week. As always, I'm Joe Dorado.
I'm Andrew Canada, and we'll see you next time at the movies.
Don't kill me, please. Whoa, relax. I'm not gonna hurt you.